You're such an asshole!
Hello, children. All right, we have another kind of, hey, where would you recommend going? And all that traveling I did starting at the age of 30, it kind of finally paid off. Dear Aaron Sheckelstein, I hope the world domination schemes are going well. I have a fun topic for you. Be my travel guide. I come from Europe and don't know my way around America. I will rent a car. Sadly, I do not have a motorcycle license. I want to travel to the United States for 1 or 2 weeks, starting from Salt Lake City for personal reasons and ending on nowhere specific, but maybe the Sequoia National Park in California. Those giant trees might be cool. Yeah. Look, a giant tree. All right, now what? Can you give me a cool route or recommendations of which spots to go? I love hiking in nature. I hate people in big cities. Which time of year is best? Thank you so much. Thanks for your advice. I finally have the means to take vacation. All right. Let me pull up the old mappy map. And all right, I'm going to assume you're going to Salt Lake City. And only one thing I maybe recommend. I'm going to tell you what to do. Assuming you go to Salt Lake City, see if you could get a flight to Vegas, because flights to Vegas tend to be cheaper. The only problem is the car rentals might be more expensive. So it depends on look up, do some pricing, but we'll get you to Salt Lake anyway. All right, I already know, I'm pulling up the map here. From Salt Lake, you got to look at the Great Salt Lake. What I would do is immediately go to Vernal, Utah, and that's kind of south, and you got to go all the way to the let me make sure. Yeah, I'm not going to have you go to Wyoming. There's no reason to go to Wyoming. Go to Vernal, Utah, and go to Dinosaur National Monument. There are two things you're going to want to see there. One is the actual dinosaur fossils. You take the shuttle up there. And then I want to find the hike I did. So where the Yampa and Green Rivers come to a head. Come on, Clary, you did this not too long ago. There's Jensen. Naples, Vernal. All right, there's the road. Where did I go? Maybe. Give me a second here. Did I go that way? Jensen. Up and over. 149? Did I do that? There's like a hike. Oh, I didn't know there's a bridge down there. Well, gee. Vernal's a great play. I really enjoyed it. Let me. National Quarry exhibit. No, there's the dinosaur thing. All right, never mind. That's not where I went. Where did I go? There's the Green River. There's petroglyphs. There was a hike. It was like Fish Hike or something like that, or Fish Hard Scramble Mountain. No, that's a Harper's Corner. You're going to want to drive out to Harper's Corner. No, that wasn't it either. Where is the road? Is it that? No, I didn't go to Flaming Gorge. I knew it was in Vernal. Oh, I'm so screwing this up. Stove Meadow, Dinosaur National Monument Quarry. All right, that's where that was. Oh, that goes through the park. Okay, that's. So I must have Yampa Plateau. Why can't I find the road? The road was here. It was here just a second ago. Darn it. There is a hike down to the. Is that it? Darn it. There's a hike. There's like a fishery there. There's a fishery. Look up the fishery. It's along the Green River. It's an amazing and beautiful hike. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to leave this one last zoom in. Nope, that's... Wait, Split Mountain Boat Ramp? No, that's not it either. Darn it. All right. Well, whatever it is, you definitely want to check out Dinosaur National Monument, not only for the dinosaurs, but that hike. And then also the, not canyon, lookout, Whispering Cave. Come on. Harper's Corner. You definitely want to go to Harper's Corner, do that hike, and look at the amazing view. So that is a day. That's a day. From there, I would hightail it down to my favorite area of the contiguous United States, Moab. And in Moab, you will go. My favorite part is Canyonlands National Park. I would recommend doing the hiking. There are 3 areas to it. There's the northern, the southern, and the western. The northern one, you want to drive down the deathly switchbacks. I would rent a 4-wheeler Jeep if you want to take the back roads down 128 to Horseshoe. Oh, God, darn it. God, I've done so much. Hang on. There's the Potash. Let me make sure. There it is. Dead Horse Point. You don't want to go to the park. You want to take the Thelma and Louise. Got that. Gooseneck Overlook. That's what you want to do. You want to go to the Gooseneck Overlook if you could get there with your Jeep rental. If not, I'd recommend driving into Canyonlands National Park. You want to go on the northern unit. Where to go? Island in the Sky. Grand View Point Overlook. That's what you want to do. And then where is the entry? Here it is. Yeah, you want to go down the Schaefer Canyon Overlook. That is what you also want to do. Yep, there it is, 142. It's coming back to me now. All right. So if you want, you can rent a 4-wheeler in Moab. Take it down 128 to 142. You're going to go past the Potash Ponds. And then also you get to the Gooseneck View. It's where the river makes a bend. If you want, you could go up into the park, but you have to get a pass. But I would then take a separate trip in your car, Island in the Sky. That's the main entry to Canyonlands National Park. That's my favorite park. Drive through Arches National Park. The arches don't do anything. They just sit there. You can hang out with them. And if you're looking for a quick, good hike, Corona Arch, which is kind of in between the 2 parks. Corona Arch is one absolutely worth doing. From there, let me take a look. I'm just trying to figure out how to get you to Zion. I would, for now, skip Mexican Hat. I'm going to have you go back north, back to the interstate, Highway 70. You take that down to Highway 15. And you can do the Cedar Breaks National Monument. Oh, by the way, wherever you get the chance, buy a National Parks Pass. Just you're going to go through that in your first week easy. So probably a Dinosaur National Monument. You want to get the National Parks Pass. That's good at all the national parks. Hang on. Because you'll be using it. And then what you can do is there is Cedar Breaks. That's outside Cedar City on Highway 15. There's also Bryce Canyon. That's in the area. At Bryce Canyon, you could maybe spend a day there if you'd like. But I would definitely save some time for Zion National Park. So maybe get yourself a hotel in Cedar City. That's actually a nice city. There's a really good pastry shop there. That will allow you to hit Cedar Breaks, um, Bryce Canyon, which is not that big, but you could go ahead and have a little bit of hike. Zion National Park is what you want to do. Depending on the time of season you go, you might have to get a lottery pass to hike Angel's Landing. Look it up. You want to do Angel's Landing, Temple Sirinawa, I think is the other one. Temple of Sinawava. Temple of Sinawava. And then, yeah, that's where you hike up the Virgin River. That one is fun. But in terms of what time you should be going, I would not be going. You don't want to go in any later than, golly, you don't want to go in June. You want to go in May. Reason why is kids let out of school in June, so your prices go way up, especially in Moab. If you could get out there in early May, would probably be your best. It won't be that hot as well. You're going to be in the desert, although it's higher desert, not as high as Colorado, but it's not as low as Nevada. And so I think early May would probably be your best bet. April would be okay too, but you can still get freak snowstorms and things like that, especially up in the mountains. But that'd be late April, early May is what I'd be aiming for. That way, hopefully there's not a ton of people. Hopefully every American and their snot-nosed kids aren't showing up. Hopefully there aren't a bunch of fat people from Wisconsin driving their RVs that they rented and don't know how to drive through mountainous terrains and they pull over because there's a freaking yak on the side of the road. Hopefully you avoid that. But that's what I recommend and when I recommend that you go. All right. So Zion, ideally Angel's Landing, Temple Sirinawa, and then otherwise there's some other hikes you could do. Those are the two I really enjoyed. So you got that there. Then, yeah. You're going to have to make a rocket run to the Grand Canyon. While you're there, to avoid a big ass loop you don't want to do, well, maybe I'll have you go through Sedona as well, depending on how much time you have. Do your math. You could go to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, down by Kanab. It's, what is it, Highway 67, 89A. So you'd kind of be taking the back roads around Moab. You could easily do it in a day. Hit that north rim, look at the Grand Canyon. If you want to hike it, you can hike it, but you better be in spectacular shape going down and back up. Again, your parks pass will come in handy. I don't know if you need a lottery to do it in the Grand Canyon, but you'll be able to have seen it. Oh, and just so you know, I don't know everything there is about Utah. Utah is just my favorite place to hike. There's so much hiking out there. I'm just giving you the ones I very much enjoyed. You could do Canyon Reef, Capitol Reef. Sorry, Capitol Reef. There's just all these different state parks as well. I'm just giving you the ones that I personally prefer. All right, you will go through St. George, Utah. While you're in St. George, Utah, nice place to stay, nothing wrong with it, you need to go to Alvaro's. Your entire trip to the United States will be pointless unless you go to Alvaro's. And then you say, well, what? You'll go back to your crappy European country and say, did you go to Alvaro's? You say, no. And they say, why? Why? Because Alvaro's is hands down the best Mexican food I've had in my entire life in all the United States. And I'm not joking about that. It's very good. All right. Then you're on your way to Vegas. There is really not much in between St. George, Utah, and Vegas. Vegas, if you haven't been there, you go on this. There's two strips. There's the downtown old school strip, Fremont Street. You can do that. It's just you walk up and down there and you saw old Vegas. Okay, there it was. And then there is the Strip, which is the main strip or the new strip, but they just call it the Strip. This is where the Bellagio and the Mirage and the MGM and all the big fancy things and all the crazy crap that they got going on there. Pick one. Pick one casino. Caesars, Bellagio, MGM, Treasure Island, doesn't matter which one. Choose one. Walk in, look around. Ooh, shiny lights. Hey, some Asians. Ooh, look at that. Oh, wow, a hot chick. I wonder if she's a whore. She is. Gamble. Don't even bother with the food. Don't even buy anything on the strip. Don't. And that's it. There, you have experienced Vegas for all of its tourist purposes. Now, I could recommend a ton of things you could do outside of Vegas, but you don't have the time. You're going to see Red Rock National Canyon. Don't bother. It's nothing compared to what you've seen before. And then what I would do is, well, how much time are we at now? So you are driving to Salt Lake. You get to Dinosaur National Monument. Let's say you leave early. You're at day 1, you land. Day 2, Dinosaur National Monument. Day 3, driving to Moab. 4, you're doing a hike. 5, you're to Cedar Breaks and Bryce, assuming you don't hike. You sleep there. 6, you wake up and you do Zion. 7, you're down in Vegas. If you time it, you can hit the Fremont. That's the old strip. And a regular strip. That's 7. Oh, no. We had 7. That's without going to the Grand Canyon. Yeah. Then you're gonna have a long day of travel. 7. Then, so you're not gonna do not go to the Grand Canyon after Zion. I'm gonna have you do that after Vegas. From Vegas, you go past the Hoover Dam. Just look at it. There it is. It doesn't do a show. That's it. I don't know if you're bringing a woman with you. Women are like, oh, let's take a walk around. La 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 la. And you're like, I saw the dam. I got the picture. Can we go now? No, let's take the tour. Oh, look, there's a goat. Ah! Tickety-tock, tickety-tock. States are big here, okay? You hop in that car after you park. Do your thing. Get out of there. You were going to go to, no, where is it? You will go to the Grand Canyon. Williams, that's right. Williams comes first. All right, so go to the Grand Canyon. Go, like you hit Moab, okay? You're leaving Vegas. Wife, girl, woman, sweetheart, lovey, cuddle wookums. It's 7 a.m. Ass in the car before the traffic starts and we get the F out of here. You're hightailing it. There's the Hoover Dam. You see it. You wave goodbye. Back on the highway. You get your ass to Williams, Arizona. You go north. Go to the Grand Canyon. Now here, see, I'm trying to give you a lot and like a day to hike it. You're going to have some. Now, if you want to hike the Grand Canyon, probably you would want to spend a night in Williams after driving out of Vegas. Wake up at a crack of a fart in the morning. Go up to the thing. Go down. Get back up. Assuming you're trained to do. That's 5,000 feet, man. It's 5,000 feet. 10,000 total. Do your thing. Get out of there. And then I would try to get to, there's a Grand Canyon. You'll want to see if you could stay in like, Cameron, if they got a hotel. Hang on, let me look and see. You don't want to go to, Tuba City's kind of poor. Yeah, there you go. Okay. See if you can find I don't want to have you go back down to the interstate. I want you to cut over to Highway 89. Cameron Trading Post. All right, looks like there's a hotel there. So you'll be at the Grand Canyon. You want to cut straight east. If you're looking at a map, you can see it on, what is it, 64. You don't want to go back down to Flagstaff. Flagstaff's a nice town. I enjoy it, actually, but there's no reason to go there. Now, I'm going to have you go 89. You go to the town of Kayenta. So 89 to 160, that shoots off to the northeast. You go to Kayenta, you go up to 163, and you go through Monument Valley. That is the famous Wile E. Coyote, Forrest Gump, where he's running and he stops. He's about to speak, and it's the cliffs in the background. That's the area I'm going to send you through. Then you're going to go into Bluff and Blanding, Monticello, a lot of beautiful area out there. And then you'll come up back through Moab. Oh, I forgot one important thing before I forgot to tell you about Moab. With Moab, when you enter Moab from the north, okay, this would be as if you're coming down. Do not take Highway 191. You want to take Highway 128. Highway 128 from Moab to the interstate is absolutely gorgeous. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to think of a non-national park that's as pretty as that stretch of road. So whether you're going to Moab and you go down into Moab through that canyon through 128, or you're leaving Moab, use 128. And then you have completed that circle, and that should fill in your 10 days. And then you should be tired as all get out, and then you haul ass back to Salt Lake City. Yeah, that should do it. That should do it. Just so you know, there's going to be a ton of mountain ranges. There's a ton of hiking. Yeah, there's a lot of hiking all over the place. But I think that is the most unique, because you got mountains in Europe, right? You got snow-capped mountains. You got the Alps. You got whatever else is out there. You do not necessarily have the canyons and the bluffs and the cliffs that we do over in Utah. And I think Utah that would be very unique indeed. And the fossils, those fossils are amazing at Dinosaur National Mine. And there, that you kind of stuck because old people from Wisconsin like to sit. The dinosaur fossils also don't do a show. They just sit there, but you got to wait for Tilly and Herman from Madison, Wisconsin to get off their fat Hawaiian shirt wearing ass into the shuttle, and then you go, but just be patient with them at that point in time. That should be about it. Oh my goodness, Athamel Decua in the house. Hey, Bacon! Everyone subscribe to Bacon's channel at the goddamn Bacon for 223, not Seattle or Portland. There, I help. I would never, I don't know. Maybe you like seeing white people shit in the streets. I mean, maybe wants to go to Seattle. Do you like self-loathing white people? Go to Seattle and Portland. I should tune into Bacon. I haven't listened to Bacon well. Crypto Pimp, $10. Just tuned in. I live in Atlanta. I want to take a hiking trip out west. What would you recommend for a first-time hiker out west? Dude, narrow it down. Like a hike? A hike? A hike. Well, okay, you're Atlanta. You're going to be south. And let's assume you just go straight west. You're going to be running into... You're gonna hit New Mexico first. You know what? If you train up for it, even though Atlanta, you're near sea level, you're a flatlander. Sandia Peak in Albuquerque, New Mexico. What you could do is hike up the peak and take the trolley. They got a gondola that comes down. But look, Crypto, you want to hike a hiking trip? Where would you recommend for a first-time hiker out west? Honestly, dude, if you got time, Moab. If you got time and money, Moab. If you don't have that much time and money, I thought you meant just one hike. If you don't have that much time and money, I'd go Denver. It's closer. You got the Rockies. You got the Puja River Valley. You got the Thompson River Valley. You got Rocky Mountain National Park. And you just hightail it back on 70, or well, you would probably drop south and go to 40. So you probably drop down to Albuquerque. Yeah, that I'd recommend that for a first-time hiker. I would not go above 10,000 feet because you would probably get altitude sickness. So don't plan like pay attention to that elevation. Be strong, $2. You should write a book about evil bosses. Yeah, it was called Behind the Housing Crash. It was my first book, and it's great. If you ever, if you ever wonder if you have the moral right to kick pretty much any banker in the nuts, read that book. You say, "Oh, I got the right to kick that guy in the nuts," and you'll be right and moral to do so. A lot of those guys are out dead though. Eric Burns Marsh, $5. Tuned in late. What are your recommendations besides Casper in San Francisco? He wanted to go to Salt Lake City as an initial place, so I put him on basically a tour of Utah with a quick stop in Vegas. And then if they had the energy and time to go down to the southern end of the Grand Canyon and then road trip it back up from the south side of Moab going through Monument Valley. I could tell you all what areas of the United States to avoid. That's what the book linked below is. Reconnaissance Man. For all of you wondering, well, where should I go? And it might be a pretty good hiking manual as well. That's where I recommend you go. Let's block this. Hey, Atham, can't you block these people? Or did you already block them for me? Did you already block them for me? Okay. I think you already did. Crypto Pinup or Pimp, $10. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, it really depends. That's why I had to ask the guy how much time he had. He had 10 days. I mean, you give me a summer, I could put you all over the map. But if you only got 10 days or a week, or like you got a weekend, well, a weekend you wouldn't even be able to make it. You need at least 4 days, 1 day out minimum, 1 day back, a day of rest, and then you get 1 day of hiking. That's it. Boom. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.